In the early days of a startup, revenue usually comes from a single source, the founder. You get that first spark of an idea, pitch it to anyone who will listen, and close those initial deals through sheer willpower and energy. This works incredibly well at the start. When a potential buyer takes a meeting with you, they are looking directly at the creator of the product. They are evaluating your personal conviction and judging whether you will hold yourself accountable if something goes wrong. Because you built the solution, you have the authority to promise a fix by Friday if the market demands it on Monday. That direct feedback loop creates a level of trust that a hired sales rep cannot manufacture. These early deals operate as partnerships, creating a dangerous false sense of security. Revenue climbs, momentum builds, and you naturally assume the company is ready to scale. Then the reality of your calendar catches up with you. As market interest scales, your personal availability rapidly becomes the primary bottleneck for revenue. You find yourself double booked on demos, losing sight of product development, and failing to reply to warm leads within 24 hours. The volume of interest outpaces your bandwidth, and the system chokes. Most founders look at this exhaustion and misdiagnose it. They assume they simply need to work a few more hours on the weekend, or bring on a quick administrative hire to field the overflow. What you have actually hit is the invisible ceiling. Your business has stopped running on market demand and is now strictly capped by your physical inability to be in 2 meetings at once. To get out from under this weight, the standard move is to post a job description and hire your first dedicated sales rep, hoping they will take the burden off your plate. 6 months later, the new hire is sending out calendar invites and running early discovery calls. However, whenever a major deal gets close to the finish line, you still have to jump into the meeting to actually win the business. The rep is running on founder air cover. They are checking off tasks inside a sales motion that still requires your personal authority to function. This failure happens because your early traction relied on implicit knowledge. You were using your unspoken intuition, your industry connections, and your ability to read a room, rather than a documented, linear process that someone else could follow. You cannot hire a person to replicate your intuition. Attempting to hand off the sales function without a system in place means you end up paying a premium salary for leverage you never receive. The strict prerequisite for a successful handoff is extracting the playbook out of your head and getting it on paper before that first revenue hire ever walks through the door. That starts with a rigid ideal customer profile. You must clearly define exactly who your product is built to serve, eliminating the hours wasted pitching to bad fit prospects. Next, you need a repeatable discovery framework, identifying specific questions that reveal a buyer's pain points and predict a closed deal. Then, map out responses to objections and establish hard pricing guardrails, preventing panicked reps from offering massive discounts. Completing this extraction shifts your company from being founder-dependent to system-dependent. That system is the true prerequisite for growth. Many technical founders hesitate to dive deep into sales because they picture an uncomfortable exercise in pressure tactics and feature dumping. Effective business-to-business sales is an exercise in high-level problem solving. It requires diagnosing an issue, testing a hypothesis, and proving a solution, skills that technical founders already excel at. Your responsibility in the revenue engine is to figure out the replicable formula that solves your customer's problem, prove it works, and engineer the machine to execute it. Staying deeply involved in early-stage sales is necessary work, provided you spend that time building out your sales infrastructure instead of chasing one-off deals. Treating your sales motion like a product that needs to be designed and refined shatters your capacity bottleneck permanently. The target end state is a mature business where pipeline generation, discovery, and revenue closure happen entirely independent of your calendar. Founder-led sales is a temporary phase. You step into it to understand the mechanics perfectly, and then you step back to transfer it completely. Mastering this translation of intuition into infrastructure is the precise step that separates a fragile, exhaustible startup from a resilient enterprise built to scale.